You're watching Oilers Nation every day with Tyler Yaremchuk. Your one-stop shop for all things Oilers.
Will tonight be the beginning of a 10-game heater, or will today finally be the day I win my roll up the rim? Let's get into it with The Lead. You can't win 10 in a row unless you win 1 in a row, and that's what the Oilers are looking to do tonight. Can they turn things around out on the Rock, I believe they call it, New Jersey?
The Rock?
The Rock, Liam.
Let me have a look.
Welcome into Oilers Nation every day. The show is a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the promo code NATION. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. We come to you live from the Sports Closet studio. Check them out online, sportscloset.ca. Live on the Oilers Nation YouTube. Chris Knobloch, or someone with Chris Knobloch as their username, was in and said Janmark won't play today. Jeff Skinner probably gave him food poisoning. And you know what will be very interesting, Liam? I know they're saying Janmark is sick, but you never mess with a winning lineup. If Edmonton wins tonight, I wonder what they'd do tomorrow. Back-to-back games, so it might be easy to just be like, Janmark's still sick.
Yeah. And it's pretty easy to do it because he kind of sucks.
Well, I'm just saying I would. I know you would. I don't think Knobloch would.
He scratched him before, not too long ago. I would keep him out if the Oilers win. If the Oilers lose, then obviously Jeff Skinner's inevitably out of the lineup. It just adds up. Also, they do call it the Rock. The Rock of Gibraltar. Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy, man. All right, let's start the show. Listen, short before Giant Game Day, we got a lot of stuff to get into. We got a Giant question, all that fun stuff. But I want to start with some talk from our YouTube chat, which is brought to you by Odd Company Brewing and the all-new Nation Beer Everyday Lager. It's perfect for not just any day, but it's especially delicious on game days. Before I left today, I had a 4-pack in my basement, put them in the fridge. I said, I'm coming for you later on tonight. Maybe I'll have all 4, Liam. Who knows?
1 for every goal the Oilers score.
Well, last time they played the Devils, they got shut out. So hopefully...
but it's not Monday.
And they're due.
And they sure as heck do.
But I want to get... Jack Bauer commented this one. Hopefully no boneheaded comments from Tyler today on how great Evan Bouchard is and how pathetic Matthias Ekholm is. That wins idiotic comment of the day. We're 3 minutes in. So congrats on that one. You got it. You got it wrapped up early.
Ekholm's not even playing.
Add that. Also, never said that. I just said it's interesting how people will make excuses for the players that match their eye test more. Like, again, when Ekholm struggles, it's like, well, he's sick. Well, he's hurt. When Draisaitl struggles, it's like, maybe he's hurt. When McDavid struggles, it's like, I bet you he's sick or he's hurt. And they go through all these little hoops. Zach Hyman has struggled all year. Basically, no one said boo about it. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has bad 10 games, and it's like, well, son of a bitch. Why didn't they trade him? Right?
No, yeah, it's so true. It's so true. I think obviously everyone has their favorites and everyone has their least favorites. And Ekholm and Bouchard fall on opposite ends of the spectrum for many people in that. But we did get a super chat. That's big.
We did. Someone whose name is Cup Year commented Cup Year and said LFGO, which I think stands for Let's Effing Go Oilers. But they donated $13.99 to the Ben Stelter Foundation. So we appreciate you making a donation. Appreciate you stopping in. Someone said you got lit up on that video yesterday, Tyler. Not just me. Only a fool campaigns for Bouchard to get $9 million a year. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be really disappointed in his extension when it comes down, I guess. And people can roast me all they want, but it's that with that, you know who Hannibal Buress is, the comedian who does the Eric Andre show. When he's standing up there, he goes, "Why are you booing me? I'm right." That's how I feel right now. And I think a year from now, and Evan Bouchard is probably at 90 points on the season, and the Oilers are running away with the Pacific Division, and he's got a nice Stanley Cup ring on his finger. I don't think you're going to be complaining about Evan Bouchard making $9 million also, and I really don't want to have this whole debate again, but you can't sit there and bitch and moan about Darnell Nurse's contract and how he's overpaid and this and that, whatever, and then also be against the idea of jumping and signing Evan Bouchard early and not letting his RFA years play out. He's got 2 more RFA years, and again, if they would have signed Darnell Nurse to a long-term extension with 2 RFA years remaining, you know how much he's probably making right now? $6 million, $6.2 million bucks. And his contract's also 2 years closer to being up. So even if you regret it, you're almost through it.
You're almost out of it, yeah.
And with Bouchard, if you're going to sit there and be like, oh, I don't think they should pay him $9 million, fantastic. Then sign him to another bridge deal, give him a 2-year. And guess what? The 2-year deal is a $6 million contract, maybe even more than that. And then enjoy in 2 years when the cap's up and you got to sign Evan Bouchard for $12.5 million because his play inevitably bounces back to the level we all know he's capable of. So, again, if you don't take risks, you're not going to get guys on bargain contracts. Find me the last great Oilers bargain contract.
Clefbaum.
Yeah, and when did they sign him? After he played 110 games, they gave him a 7-year deal. And at the time, everyone was like, whoa, that is a very, very big risk. Leon Draisaitl. Peter Chiarelli got roasted for signing him. I know, again, we did this whole thing yesterday. I really don't want to do it again. But if you keep giving him, and Mikhail Drive, we keep giving him bridge deals, he won't sign. Like, at some point, you have to commit to your guys.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much more else to add. You can just watch our show yesterday. And clearly, Jack Bauer did.
Yeah.
They're going to sign him. You're not going to like it, whatever it is. I heard some people on the radio today, too, talking about it. Texting in, just being like, "How? Like everyone hates this guy. How could they pay him?" It's like, no, they don't. Like
Stan Bowman doesn't hate him. That's kind of all that matters.
That's kind of all that matters. I think the Oilers power play is quite appreciative of him too. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
Jack Bauer, you're entitled to your opinion. You're just wrong.
Yeah, you're dead. You're dead wrong. Not even in the same stratosphere as being right. Jaden is in. LOL. We complained for years about having a top pairing right shot D-man. We have one, and we're trying to run him out of town. Exactly. Like, the second you let Evan Bouchard walk out the door, or as Jack said, trade him for a number one goalie, first off, find me that deal.
Yeah. Also, too, the reports were Carolina asked for him.
Yeah.
When they were talking about Mikko Rantanen, it was, we want Evan Bouchard, and the other said no. So if you think Evan Bouchard's that bad, and everyone has this high standard for the Carolina Hurricanes, if they're wanting him, then shouldn't the Oilers also want him?
Yeah.
You know? Don't get it.
Someone says Bouchard at $8 million sounds better, though.
It sounds awesome. I agree.
I mean, Bouchard at 8 years times $5 million would be just fine by me. I really don't care how much money's in his pockets at the end of the day. I just want him to be an Oiler.
Yeah.
And another one, why don't you go 5 years by $8 million? Because he probably doesn't sign that. Why is Evan Bouchard, like, you have to think of this from his side. His best earning years are going to be year one of when he's eligible for unrestricted free agency, which is he has next year and the year after as an RFA. So there's two outcomes here. You're either going all the way to 8 years for Bouch and you're paying what it takes, or you're sitting there, I guess 3 options. Option number 2 would be you trade him, which is dumb. Option number 3 would be you give him a 2-year deal and say, we don't believe you are ever going to be a $10 million defenseman, so we are going to walk you to unrestricted free agency. And the second he hits unrestricted free agency, he'll go somewhere and sign for $12, $13 million. And if it's here, all you people bitching and moaning right now are going to come right back to this chat because this show will still be around in 2 or 3 years. And you're going to come back to the chat and be like, well, if Bowman wasn't an idiot and had an ounce of foresight, he would have locked him up 3 years ago and we wouldn't be having this debate. And I know this to be a fact because you all did the exact same shit with Darnell Nurse. So, whatever.
There you go. That was not where I expected us to go to kick off the show.
No.
Anything. Most of it's just Bouchard stuff now, isn't it? Give Bouchard a like. Like the YouTube video for Bouchard.
And, like, again, I get people want the Oilers to win. I also want the Oilers to win. Last year was the most fun I've ever had doing this job because I didn't have to start doing off-season talk until July.
Yeah, that was special. I was looking at some stats yesterday. This one might be wrong on the rankings, but the Oilers are bottom 5 in, like, rush attempts, like, just based off, like, the goalies.
Yeah. Goals
against the rush or something like that. They're, like, bottom 5 in the league since February 1st. In December, when Stuart Skinner had 920, they were like top 10. So it's pretty clear that like this team defense that we talk about with John Goins, like obviously Bouchard is involved in this, needs to be better, but like everyone's screaming like trade Bouchard for a good goalie. It's like you actually have a good goalie, they're just playing terribly in front of him.
Yeah. And again, I'm not going to sit here and give Stuart Skinner a ton of love either. I think he knows he has to be better and all of that. But again, some of the hate here is just, it's getting out of hand. I honestly feel like there's people who would rather they flame out in round 1 this year and trade Bouchard and Skinner than would see them go to the Cup final because they just want to be right so bad. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I 100% with you on that one. They got to be better. There's no doubt about it. Many players do. I'd say pretty much everyone besides Draisaitl needs to be better.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
And
I'm
even
trying to
he
think
needs
of...
to be a bit better in some nights. In the I was thinking back to defensive play the last couple of weeks has been awesome. But, I mean, in comparison, he's a superstar.
Yeah. Someone said Brian is in. Bouchard is a 70+ point defenseman. That's why he will make more money than Moritz Seider. But again, we can do this whole conversation again. Moritz Seider, so he signed his $8.55 million deal coming out of his ELC, which again is crazy because you have to keep the calculation of how many RFA and UFA years you're buying.
Yes.
So to buy basically nothing but RFA years off of Mo Seider, it cost them $8.5 million. With Bouch on an 8-year deal, you're buying 6 UFA years. Like, those are infinitely more valuable,
more.
and you have to pay up to get a guy under contract for that. And then again, if they would have just signed Bouchard out of his ELC to an 8-year deal, and I know we can talk, he wasn't, hadn't proven himself in this, that, blah, blah, blah. But if they would have just given him an 8-year ticket out of his ELC and been like, we believe in you, you would have had, 3-4 more years right now of Bouchard, probably at $5.5-6 million bucks.
Yeah.
Again, commit to your young guys.
Yeah, 100%.
If they would have looked at Dylan Holloway and said, hey, we believe in you as a piece of this team, we're going to give you a 2 or 3 year ticket. And we're going to just lock you down here, and we believe in letting you grow with us. They'd still have him right now.
Probably have Rantanen.
Well, that's disgusting. I don't like to think about that. We did that whole thing.
Yeah.
Matthew is in. Tyler, would you trade Kane over Bouchard just in case Kane does show up like a beast come playoff time? There is, and I'm not really exaggerating here, there is absolutely close to nothing Evander Kane could do in the Stanley Cup playoffs that would at any point lead to me trading Evan Bouchard to keep him. I don't even think they're all that linear.
He's an older player now as well.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference is you got what is he now? 33, 34-year-old Evander Kane, and what's Bouchard, 24, 25, something around there.
What?
Just based off that alone, you obviously have to run with what Evan Bouchard is going to give you for many more years to come.
There are 2 outcomes to how the summer goes for Evander Kane. He comes into the lineup for the Edmonton Oilers and plays amazing. It's a great piece for the playoffs. Maybe he chips in 7 goals over the playoff run. And they take that and trade him in the summer because he has value. Or he plays like garbage, and it is very clear that he is now on the back or last couple of holes of his career, and he's at this point an injury-prone bottom 6 power forward, and the Oilers sit there and go, shit, we have to buy him out. Those are the little chart. What are those called? Flow charts. That's option 1. That's option 2. Option 3 is he scores 4 hat tricks in the Stanley Cup final and the Oilers win. And it's like, you know what? Maybe we keep him.
Option 3, not crazy.
You never know.
We've seen it before.
He's due for some hat tricks.
Yeah, we were talking about that yesterday. I think he wasn't on pace for every 7th game he had a hat trick or something.
That first year is like every 8 games or whatever.
Yeah. Those were the days.
Jeff Skinner says, Tyler, put the Janmark goal scored with stick sign back up. No, you all want me to be more positive? 10-game heater starts today.
I said 8 because then we could have sold the shirts. But
you got the shirts back up and running.
If you want to buy the shirts or any shirt, NationGate.ca. You can buy these ones behind me.
Talking about tonight's playoff game, Liam. Let's dig into things a little bit.
Playoff game?
Or sorry,
Feels like one. They need to win so many now.
One of our topics is the playoff race in the Western Conference. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but I want to focus on tonight's regular season game. It's game notes for our friends at Star Mechanical. You can find them online, starmechanical.ca, one of Edmonton's largest locally owned and operated businesses. Star Mechanical's got your back, whether it's residential, commercial, 24/7 emergency service. It's that time of year. I know it's cold right now, but when it gets, when it warms up and then it gets cold and it warms up again, that's when things can get a little wonky in your house. Keep your eye on your pipes. And if something goes wrong, call Star Mechanical. Goaltending in this one. Jacob Markstrom against Stuart Skinner. This is the first time in a very long time that Stuart Skinner is going to be getting a 4th straight start. Markstrom versus Skinner maybe seems like a bit of a mismatch on paper, but Liam, Markstrom hasn't been playing great hockey as of late.
No, he is not. In his last 3 games, he has an .828 save percentage. The Devils have won a couple of those games, but he's not been the reason why.
They've won one of them.
One of them, the last one, Columbus. They've won 2 in a row. Sorry, that's what the mistake was. 828 for a guy there hoping to steal some games in the playoffs for them if he gets there. He's obviously a good goaltender, but definitely not someone who's been at the peak of his powers recently. For comparison, Stuart Skinner, not much better, but better. 880 save percentage in his last 3. And I think we would all agree it probably deserves to be a little bit higher based off the Dallas game.
Well, I have breaking news.
What?
Jake Allen starting.
Oh, for goodness sake.
He was the first goalie off the ice for the New Jersey Devils today. That just coming down since we started the show. So we did all that prep for a Jacob Markstrom game, and I agreed with Ryan S. in the chat who said, we own Markstrom. We do. Sadly, Jake Allen has kind of owned the Oilers. A shutout earlier this season back at Rogers Place, and Markstrom coming off a win over the Philadelphia Flyers where he stopped 23 of 24. So, Allen also had a shutout on February 8th against Montreal. He hasn't played all that much because they've been trying to get Markstrom going since he came back from injury, but...
Oh, well, Jake Allen, like I was just saying, his last 3 games has an .852 save percentage.
There we go.
So he's won one of them, one of his last 3, which were he allowed 1 goal against the Philadelphia Flyers on 24 shots. But again, Stuart Skinner slightly better. Nothing great, .880 save percentage over his last 3, but I think we could all agree probably deserved a little bit better luck against the Dallas Stars.
I want to give you some numbers, and we're on the positive side of things here.
Okay.
Is the Oilers offense starting to turn things around?
No.
Whoa.
Okay.
Hear me out. Since the beginning of February, they've played in 13 games. They've only had more than 10 high-danger shot attempts in 5 of those 13 games since the beginning of February. That's not good.
That ain't nice.
Whoa, get ready. In the 8 games in February, they only did it once. In their 5 games in March, they've done it 4 times.
So, repeat that to me again. They've had more high-danger chances now than they had prior.
Yeah, so in the month of February, if you look at, let's call a good offensive game a game where you get more than 10 high-danger shot attempts at 5-on-5.
Okay.
You could say in February they had 1 good offensive game.
Who was that against?
That was against the...
Toronto?
No, the St. Louis Blues back on Feb 4.
That was a good game. They had like a 5-minute stretch where they were terrible.
Yeah.
They dominated that game.
So far this month, in 4 of their 5 games, they've had more than 10 high-danger shot attempts. Against the Hurricanes on March 1st, they had 16. Against the Ducks on March 4th, they had 12. The Canadiens was the one game they missed on, which is ironically one of the games they've won, but they only had 6. Against Dallas, they had 14. Against Buffalo, they finished with exactly 10. And it also is interesting, in 4 of those 5 games, they have won the expected goals battle. So, I mean, I'm not a massive deserve-to-win-o-meter guy because you get what you get sort of deal, right? Like, goals that count are goals that count. But, and I'm just going back to what we did yesterday with our boy John Goyens, are the Oilers just maybe more unlucky than bad right now? You look at all those chances. Connor Brown hitting the post. Adam Henrique's misread against the Carolina Hurricanes. Even in the first 5 minutes against the Anaheim Ducks, I know they eventually, I think that they went on to get absolutely boat raced, but Connor McDavid had 3 prime looks in the first 5 minutes of that game. Didn't score on any of them. Against Montreal, I thought they deserved a bit better. Dallas, again, made a good push in the 3rd, but that was a really solid win. And against Buffalo, you end up hitting 6 goalposts. And now that we're on game 63, 64 of this season, the whole, they are due to go on a shooting percentage heater, I understand that is, again, you run out of time for that to happen at some point, and this might just be a totally unlucky year for the Oilers. My TV turned off. So this might just be a totally unlucky year for the Edmonton Oilers, but... Yeah. Still, oh, wow. What do we got there? LG channels.
So much going on.
We're back.
That was chaotic.
That was really chaotic. Reese was running around like crazy.
I see what you're saying. I just think it's a confidence thing more than a luck thing. You know what I mean? Like, if Connor Brown had a better season, I guess he's actually having a better season than he did last year, but
low bar.
Yeah, more confident around the net. He probably does think about, taking it around the goalie the other night, whoever that was. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. But he didn't. And then Henrique, like you said, right in front of the goal, another guy that struggled. And it's just these guys just seem to not, they have the instincts, but they don't seem to be aware how to use them correctly right now. And it's definitely an issue. You would hope it can kind of end pretty quick here, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be. I'm a little more worried about the offense than maybe the numbers would suggest.
Got Jersey tonight.
Yep. Against Jake Allen.
Yeah. Islanders tomorrow. Rangers on Monday.
3 good opportunities to get things rolling, but you had a great opportunity Monday.
Yeah, we got a comment in here. Aren't the Oilers dead last in goals against since the start of February? At 5-on-5, they are second last in goals against per 60. At 5-on-5, only the Hawks are worse than them. This is since February 1st. But in expected goals against, they're 10th last. That's maybe more of a shot at the goaltending than I wanted it to be. But anyways,
I'm just tired of this lackadaisical defense in front of Skinner. Obviously he's not been good. Don't get me wrong, but there's some nights it's just like, why are they playing like so poorly in front of him? Like you saw that clip the other day that John showed us of just like Nurse aggressively going to the boards when there was no threat there, and it just like becomes pure chaos. It's like they're just biting themselves in the backside so often that like I can't even sit here and pretend that the goaltending is the number one problem.
I think we view this team differently if they have a goalie who can steal them games. And that's just what it is. Stuart Skinner's not going to be a guy who steals you a game.
No, but I think in the last 3 games, he allows 2 against Montreal, and this is a very small sample size. 4 against Dallas, 1 of them goes off his own player, so we'll call it 3.5. And then Monday, he allows 3 again. Like, the Oilers are a team that should be able to also win games when your goalie only gives up 3 goals.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, this is a team that should be winning games on their offense.
Totally,
So, yep.
and it's lacked all season, most of the
I'm
season.
going to take the path of their due.
You've never gone down that path before.
No, never have. All right, let's keep cruising along. That was game notes for our friends at Star Mechanical. We're going to get back into the talk about tonight's game in a little bit, Liam, but I wanted to take a look around the NHL for a few minutes. Let's get to one big take for our friends at Service Credit Union. The Service Big Share Contest is back, and it's better than ever. It's your chance to win $1 million just by saving money. Every $500 saved gets you 5 entries into the Service Big Share Contest. The contest ends April 30th, 2025. Skill test required. For more rules, visit service.ca/win. The Western Conference playoff race, Liam, is getting a little spicy here. It's no one's ran away with it. I think we've been kind of waiting for, could a Calgary or Vancouver either like lose 8 in a row or win 8 in a row and maybe start to create some separation there. But all that's happened is Utah has stayed pretty hot, points in 8 of 10. St. Louis is 7-1-2 in their last 10. So we haven't had anyone pull away. We've actually had 2 teams get themselves closer and right back into the mix. So out of these 4, I'm going to ask you to rank them on their chances of getting into the playoffs, and I'm going to give you what Bet365 has.
So from Calgary down to Utah.
Yeah, rank them 1 through 4, best chance to worst chance of getting a playoff spot.
Oh, man. I think I'll say St. Louis is the best chance. Utah is the second best. And I think it's Calgary, Vancouver. I think Vancouver just...
Okay, so sorry, you're going Utah best chance.
No, St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis best chance. Utah number 2?
Yeah, sure. I just like, including everything, Calgary just reminds me of Philadelphia last season.
Where like eventually they're going to hit the skids.
Yeah, it's like, why are you here? And
I don't know.
Why are they there? I don't know, but they're there. All right, so I'm gonna have them as the 3rd best, and then I think Vancouver would have the 4th best because everything's just imploding. Like it just seems inevitable that, unfortunately, Quinn Hughes will get hurt again, and then they'll just sideline him. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like something like that's gonna happen. How would you do it? What does Bet365 say?
Well, so let me give you this too. Strength of schedule amongst those 4 teams.
Do you know the Oilers have the 2nd easiest schedule for the rest of the season?
You know who has the easiest?
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
That's why I said they were the one.
So St. Louis has the easiest schedule in the league. So they're 32 in strength of schedule. And then you go up a little bit. Utah's 23, so pretty easy. Calgary is 17th, so middle of the pack. Vancouver's 12.
So my order was right.
Your order was right, unless you're talking to Bet365. What do you think the order is? Give me the guess on what you think the betting odds say.
I bet Vancouver's 1, Calgary's 2, St. Louis 3, Utah 4.
Flip Utah and St. Louis. It goes Vancouver at plus 110, Calgary at plus 240, Utah at plus 375, St. Louis at plus 425. Here is where I was trying to think about this today and be like, because Pettersson had a really good game yesterday in Vancouver.
Which one?
The forward Elias.
Okay.
Not the defenseman Marcus or the defenseman Elias.
Yeah.
The forward Elias had a really good game.
Finally.
The defenseman Marcus had an assist. The defenseman Elias got smoked and concussed, I believe, presumably by Connor Zary.
Stay tuned for more.
Yeah. But here's what I got. I was trying to think of, Pettersson, if he gets hot, he could have a massive impact on this playoff run. Like him going and they have 17 games left in the season. Like if Elias Pettersson just for some reason gets snapped back into the form he had, call it 18 months ago or 2 years ago, that'll be very, very influential in the way the playoffs play out. But then I was like, well, the most important positioning is goaltending, and who's got the best goalie of that bunch?
Just Calgary.
Dustin Wolf. Like, if anyone is going to steal you a bunch of low-scoring, tight playoff-style games the rest of the season, it's going to be Dustin Wolf.
He's done it all season.
They won 1-0 against Montreal over the weekend. He gave up a few against Vancouver, but he still played really well, was north of a 900. Like, I don't know, man. I'm sitting there going, I have a tough time, and you all might hate this. I have a tough time thinking Dustin Wolf is going to allow the Calgary Flames to lose enough hockey games. Because that might
don't disagree.
Like, it's so painfully mid that, like, is Utah winning 6 in a row at any point? No. St. Louis, even with their easy schedule, they're already 7-1-2 in their last 10. This might have been St. Louis's heater. Yeah, they might be due to regress a little bit. No Colton Parayko. Vancouver, I choose to believe that room is so broken, and I think Rick Tocchet might be getting real close to being checked out.
I think so, too.
So then I sit there and go, I don't have a massive reason to believe in Utah as much as I like that story. I don't have a massive reason to believe in St. Louis as much as I like, no, I don't like that story at all. I don't give a shit. The Blues are painfully mid, and Holloway and Broberg should miss the playoffs. Vancouver.
Agreed.
I don't think Canucks fans think they're going to do it. So then you have Calgary and Dustin Wolf, and I'm looking at it at plus 240 on Bet365, and I'm like, call me crazy, Oilers fans. And I know I said I was betting on them yesterday. I kind of want to bet on the Flames to make the playoffs here because I think they might do it.
Well, doing a lot of glazing over there.
Yeah, a lot of flame glazing.
I've thought since the start of the season, to be honest, they had a decent chance. Obviously, the scoring is something that's alarming for them. But you look at outside of the playoff teams, the divisional playoff teams in the West, not one team has a positive goal differential.
Wow.
Which is kind of nuts for comparison to in the Eastern Conference doing the two wildcard teams. So Calgary, yeah, probably a good chance. I just wonder again if that offense is going to eventually catch up to them. But for me, if they make the playoffs too, the other conversation is Dustin Wolf has to win Rookie of the Year. I don't get it. Like, I know Macklin Celebrini is an amazing player. Matvei Michkov has been awesome. But like, you have a goalie who, how many wins does he have? He has 22 wins for the Flames this season. They have 30.
So I got into a similar debate today with Frank about the Norris because he was saying it's Zach Werenski's. Where would Columbus be without Zach Werenski? Yeah. All this stuff. The award is not defenseman most valuable to their team. The award is not rookie that is most valuable to their team.
No, it's Rookie of the Year.
It is the best rookie. And I still think, as much as I just glazed Dustin Wolf in the Flames for a couple minutes, I still think it's Macklin Celebrini. I think being a legitimate number one center who's putting up all the numbers and metrics that a number one center does, I think that is still, it's a bit more impressive, I think. Just a bit. Dustin Wolf doesn't have to play every night. He's been great, but like he's had the workload of a 1A, not even like a slam dunk. Like even if he were to play, they have 18 more games left this season. If he were to play 12 of them, he finishes with 51 games started, which is a lot. That is number one workload, actually. I should walk that back.
So, hold on. Let me change the games played here.
Okay.
So I can figure out where he ranks over the last 10 years. Because the last goalie to win Rookie of the Year was Steve Mason. I think I've got this correct.
Legendary career.
Oh, everyone remembers.
There was that run. How long? He had that shutout streak with the Blue Jackets. That was like insane in his rookie season. I want to go back and find it.
So, why is it not showing up here? Dustin Wolf has a .915 save percentage in 39 games, which would put him right now as the 15th best rookie season as a goalie ever.
15th best ever?
In the last 10 years. But of those goalies, he's already played 39 games. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them have played more games than him than he has right now.
Okay. So
Calvin Pickard, for the record, is the best.
Let's go picks.
36 games, 927. Wow. Where's that guy?
He's in there somewhere. Steve Mason, by the way, in that rookie season, had a run of over 3 games where he did not allow a single goal. He shut out Philly, LA, Anaheim, back-to-back, stopping 44, 60, 71 shots in a row. Damn. And the game before that, the game where his shutout streak eventually got ruined, he only gave up the 1 goal. So he went on a run of 4 straight games where he only gave up 1 total goal. That's crazy.
That is nuts. I give it to him. I just think there's not enough goalies that come into the league and do that. Like, not enough teams have the trust to give it to a goalie to do it. You know?
Yeah, I think that's fair. It is really impressive that he's been able to, again, like, granted his competition's Dan Vladar, who largely sucks. But, like, to get in and take over a crease like that as a rookie is really impressive.
Connor Hellebuck only played 26 games as a rookie.
Okay, well, you know what? Here's what could get me on the Dustin Wolf train with you.
All right.
Because as you remember, back in November, I said I'm gonna bet on Macklin Celebrini to win the Calder. I put a relatively sizable future on him.
Mm-hmm. He's a front runner right now. Right?
He is minus 190.
That is
so you can get the field at plus 155. You know, Wolf's not in second.
Mitchkov is, right?
No, Lane Hudson.
Oh yeah, he's doing well.
Dustin Wolf is plus 850.
Yeah, he's not gonna win.
If they make the playoffs,
he should win because none of those other players are going to make the playoffs. Like, who's the one kid on the list whose team is in a playoff race right now?
Hudson's in the race.
I guess he is technically in the race, but they're also they're 1.0. Okay, they're in the race.
I might hedge my Celebrini Calder bet
to Wolf.
To Wolf.
I've brought you on board. All aboard the Wolf pack.
Because if I bet half as much as I did on Celebrini. On Wolf, so half as much, I'll get the same payout.
There you go. What could go wrong?
No way Lane Hudson wins. Eastern media.
Lane Hudson was an Oilers pick.
He was. They traded it for Brett Kulak.
I'd rather have Kulak.
Me too. Don't clip that.
Right now, I probably would want Kulak. For the role? Hudson's a way better player, don't get me wrong. But the role the Oilers need...
Lane Hudson, pairing number 2 with Darnell Nurse. Forget
Is he a
about
righty?
It. I don't know.
I don't know either.
What is this, a hockey show?
Montreal might make the playoffs.
Habs might make the playoffs.
Nah, they'll fall out.
Who would you bet on out of those teams?
Not the Rangers. I would love it if the Bruins made it because they're terrible.
Yeah, I'm betting
they
on
won't.
Dustin Wolf.
I would just want Columbus to make it.
The way it is.
I want it to stay the way it is. Yeah.
I want Columbus to get in. I also think I want Ottawa to get in. Also, the chance of some of the playoff matchups we have in the East, I think it's going to be crazy because if things were to sit the way they were right now, actually no, I'm going to take that back. If Toronto can pass Florida and Ottawa gets in where they currently are slated, you would have round 1 Toronto-Ottawa, which I love chaos more than I love anything.
Okay.
Can you imagine the offseason in Toronto if they get bounced by the Ottawa Senators in round 1? Chef's kiss.
Magnifique.
Beautiful. It'd be unbelievable. And then you get Columbus against Washington, which, come on, all-time vibes team, the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Mm-hmm.
Carolina, New Jersey, who cares? You can skip that one. And then you'd have Florida, Tampa.
I think Florida gets bounced round 1. That is my take of the day. Right behind Lane Hudson. Not as good as
Florida bounced by Tampa round 1? I think so. I could get behind that with you.
I just think, like, Seth Jones, when was the last time he played in an important game, never mind a playoff game? He's going to be relied upon to play. Like, Aaron Ekblad isn't back for a couple of games. Like, Bobrovsky's not been fantastic this season, and all of a sudden, Andre Vasilevsky's Andre Vasilevsky again. Like, I just think that Tampa Bay has got such a loaded team.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think Tampa bounces whoever they play in the first round.
Vasilevsky's been unbelievable this year. I talked with Eric Erlinson today on DFO Live. He's been covering the Bolts for 25 years, and we talked a little bit about, them continuing to kind of push chips in and keep going. And like that decision gets made so much easier this year to go spend big when it's like Andre Vasilevsky's back to his elite level, and we can beat anyone in the playoffs.
They might be the best team on paper in the
East.
In the East, yeah, sure.
Who do you trust more in a playoff series, Logan Thompson or
Vasilevsky?
Vasilevsky, right? Easy.
It's every goalie. I would take Vasilevsky over every single goalie in the NHL. Every goalie in the NHL.
Yeah, Hellebuck always falls apart. That's fair. Washington has a much better blue line than Tampa. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
But the forward
Darren
group,
Radish does scare me.
Yeah. But the forward group doesn't worry me at all.
No, it doesn't. And also, too, like, to give some credit to it, like, and again, this number is, take it for what it's worth, but Ryan McDonough does lead the league in plus minus at like plus 30-something. Mm-hmm. And that's a guy who they brought back for, obviously, his leadership and vibes.
Yeah.
And he's done really well for them this season. Mm-hmm. Tampa, elite team. They're my number 1 pick in the East.
Jay never sent his bets in today.
Well, Then he's got an automatic L.
Or should we let the chat?
I was going to say,
Yeah,
Should we do it?
Build Jay a bet.
One sec. Jay, we're going to let the chat make you a bet.
3-legger.
Okay, 3 legs. First 3 people to comment something like mildly pro Oilers and realistic.
Yeah.
Get in.
I'll build it.
It'll be Jay's same game parlay built by you, the chat, because he didn't text us back in time. This is going to be so much fun. In the meantime, Liam and I also have our bets. Classic Jay from Lance. Sure. I can't wait to see what the first 3 comments are. We're going to get like 100 in, so it'll be tough to tell. But he would do puck line anyways. So let's just put puck. No, we'll
Puck
do.
line.
Yeah, he would do puck.
2.5.
Okay, puck line. Jeff Skinner goal. Skinner goal. RNH 2 points. Okay. Puck line. Skinner goal. RNH 2 points. Skinner goal. I actually think that's all we need to do. Jeff Skinner goal and RNH to get 2 points.
What's it up to?
45-1.
That's a J bet.
Yep. Let's do those. 3-legger. I'll send it to him.
Yeah. Wallman, 4 shots from Mackay and Dry.
Skinner, puck line, Nuge, 2 points.
Cameron said Wallman goal. Aiden, 2 points for Nuge. That should be plus 1,000.
It honestly is pretty close.
LMAO.
You know what I'm going to do tonight?
I'm going, go on, you tell me yours.
Well, first off, I'm going to do a long shot one. I've hit on this once this year. I've gotten close a couple of times. McDavid and Bouchard each to get 6 shots tonight.
Yeah, you have hit that one.
$10 into 910. Call me crazy. Anyways, Liam and I's actual bets for tonight. It will be so funny if Jay hits on this one because it would vault him into first place.
Plus 4,500?
45-1. He would clean up 45 units.
Oh, yeah.
And he would be 3-34.
Do you have Skinner first goal? Because I have anytime here, and it's plus 3,000.
Goal scorer.
Yeah.
So I did Skinner anytime.
45-1 seems crazy.
Puck line. And we did Nuge 2 points,
Nuge,
right?
2 points.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's 30-1. 30-1 for Jay.
Still juicy. Still juicy.
Phew.
Still very juicy.
My
Yeah,
lead.
30-1. That's my bad.
You know,
So he would be dead even.
that is stupid.
I don't hate that bet.
I don't
You gotta
hate
believe
it
in
either.
Nuge. You have
They're
to
not
believe
on the
in
same
Nuge.
line, though, so that's where I get thrown off by it.
What do we go with tonight, Aaron?
Here, let's do Liam first.
Wallman point plus 150.
Okay.
He has points in 2 of 3. Didn't get one last game because they refused to pass to him on the power play. Also, why was he on the power play?
Vibes.
This is game 3, my friend. How much practice have you had?
So you're going Wallman 1 point. I got a little same gamer. Connor McDavid night. I've been kind of doing this a lot lately, but again, I think Connor's going to have a big night. 3 shots, 2 points, and an Oilers win comes in at plus 275. I think Connor McDavid has himself a game tonight. And hopefully the Oilers beat the Devils. Shout out to Bet365.
There was Jay's.
There's Jay's.
Wow. Best one of the year.
Can't lose him.
that one.
Yeah, can't lose this one, Jay. I'm very intrigued to see what he responds when I sent him the bet and said, this is what the chat has decided you're betting tonight. He's got a ride with it. I bet you he responds and says, can you put $10 on it for me?
Yeah, he's away right now.
Yeah. Let's get to a Sherwood Ford Giant question, Liam. It's kind of along the lines of what we were just talking about. But Sherwood Ford, the Giant, and Nation Valet Service. Never visit the dealership again for routine car maintenance with Nation Valet Service. Plus, by using Nation Valet, again, it's a free service. Not only will the dealership pick up your car, drive it back, do the work, and drive it right back to you, you're going to get a Nation swag bag just for using it, and you're entered into one of our many monthly draws. Nation Valet Service. Sherwood Ford, the Giant. Hockey fans helping hockey fans. It is a Sherwood Ford Giant game day. Do we have our keys to victory from Sherwood Ford?
Evan Bouchard has 3 goals and 6 points in his last 5 games.
Leon Draisaitl has 8 goals in his last 10 games. Let's go Oilers.
Corey Perry is tied for 3rd on the Oilers with goals since the new year with 8.
There you go. Giddy up. Some quick fast facts from our friends at Sherwood Ford, the Giant.
The gang. We haven't seen him for a while.
The squad, Sherwood Ford, the Giant. Here's your Giant question, Liam.
All right.
What % chance do you give the Oilers of still catching the Golden Knights and winning the division?
I'd give it a good chance. I'm no good with it. You always give me these percentage ones. I'm not good at them.
You don't like slapping a percentage on things.
I'm just not good at judging them because I say it and then you're like, whoa, really? Happens
Well,
all
that's
the time.
part of the fun of the show.
I'm going to say they still have, what are they there? 5 points back. They have to play Vegas and LA still, too. 45%.
They're plus 250 right now, bet 365. So I think
does
I
that
agree
mean?
with you. Like, I'm right around 40%, I think is my number. Like, at the end of the day, they are 5 points back of the Golden Knights with only 18 games to go for each team. So let's say if they're going to do it, it's the given that you have to win that head-to-head matchup later on in the month.
Yeah,
that's a must. So can you do that and then close a 3-point gap where you will not be holding the tiebreaker either, right? Is tiebreaker number one regulation wins or regulation overtime wins? Yeah, regulation wins. So the Oilers are not going to have that tiebreaker. So you need to not only tie them, you need to pass them to get that top spot. So
Can you see their strength of schedule?
Yeah, it's higher than the Oilers.
Because the Oilers are 31. Let me just find it. That Nathan Graf.
Ryan believes. Ryan S. said 100%. Oil for Life said 50%.
The Oilers are 31st, so second easiest schedule. Vegas has the 5th easiest.
Well, lock up.
So, again, I think it's going to be really hard to close that gap. But, again, if you can rattle off a few in a row, you can change the look a little bit. But
Like the Oilers, Vegas has been a little bit up and down recently, too. I know they're back on the rails now, but there was a time there. The reason the Oilers caught them is because Vegas was playing so poorly. I don't think Vegas is as great as they have been in the past. I also don't think the Oilers are as great as they have been in the past couple of years either. So even if the Oilers didn't pass them, then I wouldn't. They still have a great chance to beat them if they make it to the second round.
yeah.
I made peace with no division title, I feel like a bit ago. Yeah, I'm going like 20%. But if they're in it, that Nation Vacation game is going to be lit.
Like, if they're somehow, by the end of the month, 2 points back, that Nation Vacation game is going to be awesome. Speaking of that Nation Vacation game, good point, Aaron. You can win your way into the Nation Vacation tomorrow night at Greta. If you're sitting there going, man, I'm not doing anything for the game on Friday night, you and a friend buy $10 tickets, nationgear.ca. Again, that's a donation to the Ben Stelter Fund, so it goes to a good cause. We got drink and food specials going on at Greta as well, and you could walk out of there with a trip for two on the Nation Vacation to Vegas at the end of the month, presented by Fountain Tire. Again, tickets, $10, nationgear.ca. It's happening tomorrow. It's a 5:30 game. Vibes are going to be good in Greta. Aaron's going to be there, and we're going to be giving away a chance for you to win your way into the Nation Vacation, courtesy of our go-to party spot downtown Edmonton, Greta Arcade Bar, Street Food. Check out all the new arcade games as well. It's like a win-win-win night. You donate to the Ben Stelter Foundation, have a couple of drinks with your friends, and you could even be heading out with a trip for two to the Nation Vacation. Let's keep things rolling here on the show, Liam. I'm itching to do my roll up the rim today.
Give it a go. It's what we're all in for at the end of the day.
It's time,
I
I believe.
We got to do our Safeway picks today, too.
Oh, yeah, we do also have to do our Safeway picks. Canada, your favorite contest is back. Roll Up to Win is back at Tim Hortons. That means you can win millions of amazing prizes with just the swipe of a thumb. Imagine turning your routine Tim's run into a $1,000 racketing cash prize and an unforgettable vacation with Sell-Off Vacations or the all-new, all-electric 2025 Volkswagen ID Buzz. Even the simple joy of winning a coffee, which I'm trying to do today, can make anyone's day. Rules apply. Canada only. No purchase necessary. Visit the Tim's app for more details. Here we go. I used my fingers this time. Changing up the juju.
Oh,
Damn, it's another loser.
What are we even doing anymore? This is getting ridiculous.
I'm actually getting pretty upset
at
with
least
this
they
whole
know what you see is what you get. Like, we're being very genuine here.
thing. Yeah.
We're due.
It's not like they sent me cups. I'm stopping at Tim Hortons on my drive-in every single day. And I'm just 0 for whatever, 0 for 8, 0 for 10 now.
Yeah, it's getting up there.
Poor.
Anyways,
I've won a couple of coffees. For the
I almost
record.
read Lance's comment. I believe in you, Tyler. Well, you shouldn't have, Ryan. I'm ice cold. I'm ice cold, man.
Sorry, go on.
No, you want to do Safeway picks now, too?
Yeah, how'd you do last week?
I'm going to pull it up because I did not check yesterday.
I went
forgot.
4-1.
You went 4-1?
I did. The only one I lost was Tampa Bay lost to the Bruins 4-0. Pretty ridiculous, to be honest.
I got my Safeway app open. I am flipping over. There's my NHL picks. Play now. Shout out to Safeway, by the way, and my NHL picks. It's your chance to win more than $150,000 in Scene Plus points, which Liam is very, very big on. Also, the grand prize, which is a trip for two to the NHL home opener of your choice next season. Every week, you can get rewarded with exclusive grocery offers from NHL supplier partners just for playing. So download the Safeway app today. It's free. You just have to pick 5 correct games over a 7-day sample. 2 weeks, my current streak. Okay, so I've done well. I was plus. Where do you see?
You go to play.
Oh, I went 4-1 as well.
Nice.
Let's go. So let's play for this week. I'm not going Oilers tonight. I don't trust them that much with my Safeway picks. Man, tonight's a bit of a dud actually for picking. So let's do Friday.
I'm manifesting. Mine.
Utah to beat Seattle on Friday. I like that one. What else do we got?
Where's my last one?
Vancouver to beat Chicago? No, I think Chicago could actually stun them.
Okay, my picks are in.
Give them to me.
Hold on, they're just saving.
Nah, so you
See
can't
my
give them.
picks. Columbus to beat Vegas. Washington to beat L.A. Buffalo to beat Vegas. Nashville to beat L.A. Detroit to beat Vegas.
Okay.
Go Oilers, go.
There you go. Download the Safeway app and see if you can beat Liam.
Betting with your heart. Let's
I
go.
am doing whatever
Just
it takes.
taking
folks.
manifest it. I don't hate that at all. Don't hate that at all. Continuing along with the show, let's talk about tonight's lineup a little bit. Again, expecting that Matthias Janmark is not going to play tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, so they will line up like this: Connor McDavid centering Zach Hyman and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I feel like, again, first of back-to-backs. If Nuge doesn't have a big game, I bet you they move off him for tomorrow.
I don't.
Although if there would have been a game to put Henrique in that top spot, Adam Henrique revenge game against the Devils, makes you think.
Yeah, revenge game angle, something to consider. They did it the other day with Jeff Skinner on Buffalo.
Yeah.
I think these lines stay the same until Janmark comes back. Unless something goes like drastically wrong tonight,
Well,
I don't see it.
I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. Second line, Draisaitl, Skinner, Arvidsson. Again, I'm very, very excited for the look of this trio. I want to see Jeff Skinner have a big game. I thought he played really well against the Buffalo Sabres. I'm just begging Chris Knobloch that whatever happens in the first period of this hockey game, do not mess with this line. Give them the full game. If you're down 2-0 after the first period, which, like, knock on wood, I really hope they're not,
Me too.
just keep them together. Give them the game to figure it out. Jeff Skinner, again, with his goal-scoring ability, can make a difference in a hockey game like that very quick. You have to give him a chance to do that. You can't just, after the first period, be like, well, this isn't working. Henrique's playing with him now, or Nuge is playing with him now. I want to see more from Jeff Skinner. 11 goals in 54 games. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if he rattles off 5 or 6 goals towards the end of the season because they stick him with Leon Draisaitl, and you sit there and go, okay, we got 17 goals out of the guy. Like, there's a chance this is still a good contract and at the end of the day, a good move for the Oilers. They just need to give him a chance to succeed. So Skinner up on the second line. Third line, Podkolzin with Henrique and Connor Brown. How many times do you think those three have scored in the last 10 games?
Henry, Connor Brown, and Podkolzin?
Yeah.
In the last how many?
10.
2.
Yep. Connor Brown has 1. Adam Henrique has 1. Fourth line, Kapanen will center Corey Perry and Max Jones. I actually like the physicality of Kapanen and Jones together. I might not hate this line.
Good speed.
Yep.
Corey Perry brings what he brings every night.
Wallman with Bouchard, Nurse with Stetcher, Kulak with Emberson are your D pairings tonight. On the other side of things, for New Jersey, obviously they are very, very banged up. They do not have Jack Hughes. They do not have Jonas Siegenthaler. They do not have Dougie Hamilton. So they are very, very banged up. Their top line, Nico Hischier with Timo Meier and Stefan Noesen. Cody Glass with Eric Haula and Jesper Bratt. Dawson Mercer with Andre Palat, Thomas Tatar. Curtis Lazar with Paul Cotter, the former Golden Knight. And Nathan Bastian. This is not a forward line that scares me.
No, I am not frightened by this group at all in comparison to what it usually
In their
is.
last 10 games, only 2 of these 12 forwards have more than 2 goals in that
Do
stretch.
you need to guess?
If you,
Timo Meier?
Yep.
Bratt.
Nico Hischier.
Damn it.
Bratt has 11 points in his last 10, but only 2 of them are
he's
goals.
a passer.
Yeah. He had a really good game the other day, actually. But, like, come on. The Oilers are playing a team with Cody Glass and Eric Haula on their second line.
Yeah.
You win this hockey game.
The only thing cool about Holla is his name. Holla, holla, city of squall.
Did you see him call out that beat reporter in New Jersey the other
he
day?
had 2 goals this season or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, settle down,
Calm
Eric
down,
Holla.
Eric Holla.
You went to the Four Nations once because Finland had no place to pick. You had to go.
D pairings
Unbelievable.
for the Devils. Luke Hughes with Brett Pesce. Brian Dumoulin with Jonathan Kovacevic, who I love. Brendan Dillon with Simone Nemec. What they do with their blue line this offseason is going to be absolutely fascinating. Also, that Dumoulin trade, just the more I've thought about it, the less it makes sense that they paid that much to get a rental in Brian Dumoulin. But these are the defensemen they have signed next season. Kovacevic is extended now. Hamilton's under contract. Pesce, Dillon, and Siegenthaler, and Simone Nemec, all under contract. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus Luke Hughes is an RFA, and they have Seamus Casey in the minors. You have 8 defensemen who all have to be in the NHL next season, and it's not even like there's one of them because the least paid of them are Nemec, Hughes, and Casey, who are young. So none of those guys are going to be your number 7. I don't know what they're going to do this summer. Oh, and also they gave all of Kovacevic, Siegenthaler, Dillon, Pesce, and Hamilton no movement clauses.
I've seen that before.
I feel like they're going to trade Nemec this offseason.
Yeah, I think they will too.
Yeah.
And we'll see what he's really all about. He's a good player. I like him, but his ceiling, we don't really know what he is yet.
Yeah. Jake Allen versus Stuart Skinner are your expected starters for tonight's hockey game. Jay is texting me back. He said, I'm in. What did I say he'd say?
Put $10 on it.
Yeah, he wants 20 on it.
Oh, wow.
So I'll say sure, and then I'll go put $20 on it for Jay.
There you go.
Man, puck line, Skinner goal, Nuge 2+ points. Maybe it hits. He'll be back to even. You never know. You never know. Keys to victory for our friends at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. It's hockey fans helping hockey fans right in the heart of Sherwood Park. Sherwood Power Sports and Marine's Price Thaw event is going on now with savings on motorcycles, boats, ATVs, and all the accessories that go with it. The Oilers want to win tonight. To do so, Liam, they need to do what?
Take advantage of this poor offensive lineup that New Jersey is throwing out there. Like, they're key players out tonight, and the others are relatively healthy. Obviously, no Ekholm, but like the bulk of their offense is obviously there. So, also, I guess my main one is like, don't play dumb. You know, like how to play this hockey and under Knobloch, and they've done it well for portions of the season. And right now, they're just so out of it. So just keep things simple. Don't overthink it.
I'm going to say puck possession, real big key tonight. I think eventually your shooting percentage luck is going to change. Eventually your shooting percentage luck is going to change. This New Jersey team, I don't think has enough going offensively with how banged up they are to truly push back and generate offense. So I think if you can kind of, again, play the way you did in the playoffs last year, Captain Obvious, but no, grind them down. Hold the puck in their end, wear them down. You'll eventually get one past Jake Allen. And again, if you avoid mistakes and you just keep them hemmed in their own end, I don't think this New Jersey team has a good enough roster right now to truly push you back the other way. So, yeah, someone said they go better against better teams. And, yeah, I mean, we saw them elevate against Montreal. True. We saw them elevate against Dallas. Those are both teams who are, I mean, one of them is a cup contender. One of them is legitimately in the playoff mix. So I'm with you on that. I get it.
Defend the rush for me. Defend the rush. I don't care that they're still missing some names. That has been killing the Edmonton Oilers lately. This team can still score. I feel like a lot of those things you said there, I said on Tuesdays pre-gaming or Mondays, and it really came back to bite me in the butt.
Early start tonight, so pre-gaming goes live at 4:30 right here on the Oilersnation YouTube. So tune in to Boardsy. Then immediately after the game, he's live with post-game as well. There you go. Shout out to our friends at Sherwood Power Sports and Marine. It's a Sherwood Ford Giant Game Day edition of the show. That is a wrap on things, Lehman. New episode of Real Life going to drop later on this afternoon as well. Keys to victory in the chat. No soft goals from Stu. Sure, I think that's a totally fine key to victory as well. I'd love to see him do a little bit better. Keep it simple, stupid. Yeah, absolutely. Once we get the lead, can't let up. Yeah, I like that one from Bryn Cassian home as well. And our good friend Lance Kane just said cup year.
I'm shocked.
If it's going to be a cup year, you got to get hot at the right time. And listen, you have 18 games to go to the playoffs. Now's a good time to start getting hot. Go on a nice little run to end the year where you're like 13-4-1.
Just
that'd be nice.
Play positively.
Yeah.
We got to get some mojo back in this fan base, I think.
Totally.
It's been disappointing.
Gotta
Lucas
get
Glover leading the Players' Championship, by the way.
Got to get your swagger back. That is a wrap on today's edition of the show. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, noon Mountain Time, so we'll see you then. Oil up.